Hey y'all, welcome to 1.6 for pre-algebra. We're talking about subtracting integers. This is really just a continuation of 1.5 and we're talking about adding integers. In fact, we already did some subtraction anyway, so this video isn't going to be long. We're just going to kind of reinforce some concepts and maybe introduce a couple new ones. So, let's take first problem. We'll do 4 minus 10. Okay, 4 minus 10. So what would I do there? Well, let's think. If I did the number line way, I'm starting at 4, and I'm subtracting how many? Well, I'm going 10. So, you know what? I'm going to go past 0 for sure, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm going to have to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the question is, where did I land? Well, that's 0. Oh, oops. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's at negative 6. So I landed at negative 6. So, a trick, because we're not always going to have numbers that are friendly for a number line. Okay, I might be subtracting 154, right? I don't want to do 154 little whoop, 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 little jumps, right? Whoop, whoop, whoop. You like that? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yep. Anyway, what do I do? Well, I can pretend that these are positive for a sec, and I'm going to subtract the smaller one from the larger one. So I'm going to take the absolute value of negative 10, which is 10, subtract from it 4, which is the absolute value of, well, consequently, 4. Anyway, so you're going to get 6, but we know the answer is negative. So what does that tell us about our little method? Well, again, it means I need to tack on a negative sign to really get my true answer. Try this one. Pause the video and try this one. How about 17 minus 28? All right, so again, we are going to go into the negative. We're starting at 17, but we're going to go 28 to the left. So we're going to pass 0 and keep on going to the left. So I'm going to take the absolute values of both numbers. So that's 17. Absolute value of 17 is 17. Absolute value of negative 28 is 28. And I'm going to take the larger one and subtract from it the smaller one. Okay, so that's going to be 1 and 1. Then I'm going to take the sign, okay, of which one? Well, it's actually the one with the larger absolute value, which is 28. Or I could think, I just tack on that negative sign, and now I have negative 11. How about this one? Well, let's see. It might help us to remember that, oh, you know what? Plus and negative actually means what? Minus a positive number. So I'm going to do 44, not plus negative, but now minus 58. All right, so I'm going to start at 44, and I'm going to go 58 to the left. So that means I'm going to have to jump over 0 and go even further to the left. So I'm going to get a negative number as my answer. So again, let's find the absolute values of these numbers. So the absolute value of 44 is 44. The absolute value, oops, need more room. The absolute value of negative 58 is, well, 58. So I'm going to take the larger one, subtract from it the smaller one. Okay. 8 minus 4 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. So my answer is 14, but it can't be regular 14 because I know, I'm going to go starting at 44, subtracting 58. I'm going to hop over 0 and go into the negative. So it's going to be negative 14. And another way you can remember that is, okay, when you take the absolute values, we found that the absolute value of 44 is 44. Absolute value of negative 58 was 58. Which one is larger? Okay, which absolute value is bigger? Well, it's 58. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to take the sign of him originally, which was negative. Okay, so that's going to take some practicing to get used to, but I know you guys can do it just fine. Let's go on to starting with a negative and adding a positive, such as, how about negative 2 plus 9? How about that one? Well, let's see. This isn't really subtraction, but in a way, we could say it's negative 2 minus negative 9, if we wanted. But, I don't know if that's really going to be that's really going to be helpful. But let's think about what we're doing. Number line-wise, we're starting at negative 2, and that would be 0 there, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to hop 9 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's going to put us somewhere over here. The question is, what is that number? Well, let's see, negative 2 plus 9. What you can do in this case is actually, we could rearrange, right? Instead of saying negative 2 plus 9, the commutative property of addition lets me rearrange things. So I'm going to do 9 plus negative 2. And well, that's cool because plus a negative we said means subtraction. So I'm really doing 9 minus 2, which is 7, and that's what that would be right there. Now why don't you try this one? All right, so let's see, negative 8 minus negative 15. Well, minus a negative means what? Plus. So what am I adding? Negative 8 and 15. Okay, so negative 8 plus 15. Well, I'm starting at negative 8 going to 15, so I'm actually going to cross over 0 and keep going to the right. I'm going to have a positive answer. But to help me, I could remember that commutative property of addition, which says I can move things around that are on other sides of the addition sign. So we'll keep the addition sign, but I'm going to put the 15 here and the negative 8 here. And the reason that helps me is because, well, what does plus a negative mean? That means minus. So now I'm taking 15 minus 8, which of course equals 7. All right, so let's talk about temperature change a little bit, okay? So let's say the temperature one day went from 32 degrees Fahrenheit to negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit. And I want to know, what was the change? Well, how are we going to find that? Well, you know, let's think about what we're dealing with. We have a positive 32 and then a negative 10. So it changed from, you know, visually, it went from 32 degrees Fahrenheit on the number line. That would be 0 approximately, and there would be negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So it changed this much. So what we could think of is, hey, how much distance is between 0 and 32? 32. How much distance is between 0 and 10? 10. If you add 32 and 10 up, you end up getting what? Well, 42 degrees. But we got to think about something. 42 means positive 42. If it went from 32 to negative 10, did we have a positive change? No, we had a negative change, right? So our answer is actually negative 42 degrees Fahrenheit. So here's another one, and I want you to pause the video, and I want you to find the change in temperature. All right, so it went from negative 2 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius. So if that's 0, that would be approximately negative 2 degrees Celsius. But it went all the way up to 15 degrees Celsius. So how much did it change? Well, did the temperature increase or decrease? Well, the temperature obviously increased. It got warmer. So let's see. From here to here would be a change of 2 degrees. And from there to there would be a change of 15 degrees. So what was the change in temp? It was positive 17 degrees Celsius, and that was your change. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. Short little video for you. Look forward to seeing you guys later on in class.